bringing that good music. Yahweh International. New Foundation Production presents.
Just a little food for thought, baby. Just a little food for thought. Come on. Just a little food for thought. Just a little food for thought.
Hey, it's your boy Keys, and welcome to the Food for Thought Show, sponsored by Yahweh International and New Foundation Productions. Man, we got some exciting things going on this year. We're going to be doing some more live streaming, some special guests. We're just working on some little details here and there, but it's going to be pretty cool. But tonight we're going to be doing current events. We're going to be talking about a little bit of this, a little bit of that, just to kind of catch everybody up with what's going on and giving you some food for thought about current events. And I definitely want to start off with the suicides this week. I think last week and this week, one of the parents from the Sandy Hook and one of the survivors of the Florida school shooting. And a very important topic. And I really feel that people need to pause and slow down in their lives. Parents, listen to me. If you've never listened to the show called Love Letters, you really need to go back and listen to that. Trust me, it's worth your time, your energy, your effort. It's worth your child's life. Because I did that show because I have parents, saying that sometimes, it happens. We lose connection with our kids. They get in that stage where they think they know it all, or they just aren't, that the communication's not good. It's just like you guys are missing beats and just things ain't gelling. And you feel like you're losing them sometimes. And social media. And I mean, imagine we didn't have none of that stuff to deal with. It was just your standard peer pressure. Now they have what we went through on top of social media. You cannot even play around nowadays. You got to know what's going on with your kids like never before. So if you have not took a minute or even heard the Love Letter radio, the show on the Love Letters that I talked about parents, please go back. There's no use in me rehashing it. It's worth your time to go back and listen to that whole entire show about writing love letters to our kids and saving a life and bringing each other closer. And the reason why it's so important is, as you guys know, there's a lot about me that people know and don't know. One of them is I've been working in behavioral health, mental health for 30 years. On the front lines. So I'm not a doctor, I'm not even a therapist, but I am the person that's with your child, your adult parent, grandmother, whoever it may be, all day, every day. So I'm my title is given a couple of different names. I'm an MHT, mental health technician, direct care staff. But most of my experience has been in management, running facilities, locked facilities, or just regular treatment, just various. There's so much stuff. I can't even go into it. You can look me up and you'll see I've been on the front line for a long time. And one of the things that in behavioral health that I tell people is a lot of people have a lot of questions and misunderstandings about it. Like, is it just crazy people? First of all, crazy is not the right word to use. People have illnesses and disorders and various things like that cause them to behave the way they're behaving. So one of the things this year I definitely have noticed, in fact, in the last couple of years, man, you know what? No, really, the upclick has been since the school shootings and social media. What we're seeing is an increase in suicides. The youngest in Houston, matter of fact, I think is a 10-year-old. I watched the whole thing on him getting bullied at school and finally just having enough and committing suicide, and just the various other people who have lost their lives to bullying and peer pressure and social media and various other things. But check this out. People ask me why is there's such a rise in young people committing suicide, and you hear all these doctors on TV and you watch all these news articles, but I'm going to give it to you so simple and plain, so basic. And I get this, what I'm about to say, I get it straight from the kids. How they give it to me, I'm going to give it to you. And when this was said to me by a young man, I was like, That is the best way I've ever heard it. He said, where are we safe? Because I don't know. Think about that. Where are we safe? Every place we used to be safe, we're not safe no more. Could you imagine living in a world where you don't know where you're safe at? Like, it takes you back a little bit. I mean, we're not going to say home first. Let's just throw that one out. We're not going to talk about that one. But you can go to school and get an education and feel safe, really? Yeah, no. They don't feel safe at school. You go to school, they're more afraid. You think they're afraid of the bullies and all that. Yeah, it used to be the day you'd be afraid of the bullies, the harassment and all that stuff. That is, they can deal with that. You know, well, they can deal and can't deal, but you know what I'm saying? That's on the low scale. But imagine going to school and you got to worry about some person coming in and killing your friends, your teachers, killing you. You know, how do you study? Like, how do you not feel stressed out? You know, I just, when you think about that, kids don't feel safe at school. And then you compound that with the bullying, the gangs, if they have gangs in their school, the peer pressure, and just the flat out just haters that's in the school. These kids are dealing with pressures that we didn't have to deal with. Not like this. Throw social media on top of that. Yeah, they don't feel safe in school. Doesn't matter where the school is. They just don't feel safe. They go to school and they have fun, but in the back of their minds, they're like, man, if a loud noise, anything pops off, you know, living under fear. Okay. Guess where else they don't feel safe? Church. Let me get this right. They don't feel safe at school. They don't feel safe at church. Why? Because for a lot of young people, a lot of them know other people who've gone through abuse at church via youth department or various other leaders. Is like an epidemic right now. And it's not just the Catholic Church, it's church, period. Like, imagine you're going there to get close to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, or your temple, or your mosque, or wherever the heck these kids is going, and you don't feel safe because you don't know what's going to happen to you on the sexual level. You want to feel like that you can go there and your purity or your innocence is not going to be at jeopardy, and it is. Now you throw on the fact that people come in and start shooting up churches now. Like, really? So now our young people don't feel safe at church. It's just unbelievable to me. Just think about that. Think about your child saying, bye, mom, bye, dad, going to school, not feeling safe. And then, hey, let's go to church on Sunday. Okay, mom. Okay, dad. Going to church, not feeling safe. But, you know, hey, a lot of times kids won't say nothing. And they'll tell you, and then we kind of be so busy, we'll blow it off. Kids are under more stress than ever. You guys, I can't tell you how many young people are now coming into psych hospitals. You'd be shocked. Like, what are you doing here? You're like 18, 19, 20, 18 to 25-year-olds coming in stressed out. Just the pressure that's going on in their lives around drugs, suicide, and various other things. So now they don't feel safe at school. They don't feel safe at church. If you're not safe at school and church, in their minds, where else? There is no safe place. Those are supposed to be the most safe place, right? Then, of course, they have the issues with the police, because a lot of young people don't like the police. And then when they see what's happening, and I'm not just talking about black, I'm talking about across the board. A lot of young people have issues with the police because of what they see on TV, media, what they've personally gone through, what their friends have gone through. There's this whole distrust of adults across the board. Our kids don't feel safe, and they don't feel safe, and it's our fault. We continue to pander them and just not take them seriously. Oh yeah, we take them. No, you don't. No, you don't. look, with suicide on the rise, drug use on the rise for our young people, I'm sorry, that's a direct reflection of parenting and of culture here in America. The young people see how we do them. They see that as they watch adults focus on being, bringing prosperous of money, focused on greed, focused on money, focused on social media, they think that's the way it's supposed to be. What you got, how big your house is, how big your car is, not spending quality time with each other. Just, people coming home on their phones, on their tablets at the dinner table, can't do nothing together. It's ridiculous. These kids, man, I feel bad for them. It makes me rethink like what I thought was hard, and generations after me, what they thought was hard. Because every generation, they're getting it worse. This generation don't feel safe at all nowhere. It's sad. Can't go to a concert because you don't know what's going to happen. Everything that brings kids joy is being attacked. And do you think that's a coincidence? Of course not. Of course not. I've talked about spiritual warfare here multiple times, trying to get people to understand what's at stake. When the devil's making moves, how he make moves, what's his goal, what's his purpose? Most people know, but they take it casual. So now he's blatant. He's like, man, they're not going to do anything to stop me. I'm just going to do what I want to do. And they're going to continue to worry about their guns over their kids. They're going to continue to worry about their constitution over their kids. They're going to continue to worry about worldly things. And I'm going to continue to get at them. That's how the devil works. He don't even hide it no more. He just flat out come out and do what he want to do because he knows we're not a threat. There's no threat. The churches are not a threat. It just don't. He already knows, and I've talked about this multiple times. He already knows what you're going to do, how we're going to respond before we get back to doing just dumb stuff, And what I mean by that is when there's tragedy or something just epic happens, how long it takes us to forget what we lost and go back to doing things that are not important. And time again, he wins that battle. He wins that argument. We got Jesus. We already won. We got the victory. Yeah. Okay. Key is it is a battle. It still is a war, and it still has to be fought. Of course, we're going to win. It didn't say when the win is going to win. It doesn't clarify that. We just don't win on GP because we got to fight. Can't let him get in our homes, get in our schools, get in. He's already penetrated every safe place that our kids normally are safe in. He knows exactly what he's doing. So, I just really want people to take a serious look at your children, your nieces, your nephews, all young people, and what they're going through and how we could be better. So, okay, our kids, how can we be better? You know what I'm saying? What else can we do? Okay, look, what's the cost? What are you willing to give up is the question. So you're like, well, I'm not giving up my guns. I'm not giving up my guns. Well, I'm not doing it. I'm not giving up my guns. Yo, I'm not giving up my guns. That's not happening. Okay, look. Since when did your guns become more important than the lives of our young people? If we lose our young people, we lose the future. Look, the reality is a lot of things in the Constitution were written with the premise of what was going on at the time. So, gun law and everything in the Constitution had to do what was the kind of oppression that was being placed upon people who had moved from England, Europe to America, and how the British was trying to really control everything we were doing. Even though we were not having it, they still were trying to enforce British rule here in America, during that whole period. So these laws are really to protect others, entities and situations, government and whoever else from stopping us from having our freedom. But freedom comes with a cost. Freedom is not free. I know you think it is, but freedom comes with the cost. And that's what I'm trying to say. What are we willing to give up to protect our future, our young people? Now, am I saying a complete ban on guns? Absolutely not. No, I'm not saying that. But there's some guns we just don't need. Come on now. We don't need, I gotta have this. 100 and 300 round, whatever it may be. There's some guns we don't need. You know what I'm saying? Hunters don't be using no fully automatic guns to go hunting. Shoot, a lot of real hunters don't need that. A lot of people use bows and arrows now. They still getting back to that, even though these bows and arrows are like really high tech now. You know, one shot, you know, you got a rifle. Hey, take it to the old school, man. Get rid of some of these guns. The cost, that's one. Two, what are we willing to give up? Censorship is scary. Got to be careful with that. Here's the problem with giving things. People take advantage of it. So once you set a precedent, here's the problem living in America. You set a precedent of giving up something, somebody totally exploits that precedent. So like the gun people will say, well, we gave up this and look what they did. Somebody's going to come around and say, well, we might as well give up this, that, and the other. Okay. You say some censorship. Okay. Then you're infringing on freedom of speech. Look, that Constitution is nothing to be played with, but we have to compromise. We have to come up with some valid and clear reasons why we want to make changes. And do I think it needs to be across the board? Nah, let's do state to state. Let's do state to state. Give the states the right to make any kind of adjustments they need to make. And that'll tell you a lot about the state. Federal government doesn't need to really get into that. I mean, they can. But really, state to state, everybody can decide what they like to do. Here in Texas, open carry. You tell me what's more dangerous, gang members with guns and you don't have none, or everybody having the right to carry. It's not rocket science. You know, if you want to get froggy and I got a 9 and you got a 9, at least I got a chance. You know what I mean? You know, well, people are less likely to do something if they think you got a gun. I see lots of, here in Texas, I see lots of news shows. Like in California, you know, gang member, this gang violence, all this stuff. Here, you'll see a lot of TV shows where somebody was trying to rob somebody and they got shot. That here in Texas, that happens a lot. You'll see a lot of that. The robber's the one getting shot. Yeah, a lot of people carry. So it's hard to say what you're willing to give up. What I'm trying to say is food for thought. Think about what are you willing to give up for your child? If your child is standing right next to you and they're a 5 and 6 year old, what are you willing to give up for her or him? That's the only way you really got to look at it. Is that rack of guns more important than your child? Yeah, you have to think about it that way. Churches, what are you willing to give up to protect young people, to protect your members? You know, leadership, what are you willing to do to protect people and protect our young people? Schools and across the board, what are we willing to do to finally make young people feel like they're safe in places they should be safe? Because until they feel safe back in school and church, we're failing them every single day. Every single day. We're going to continue to see a rise in suicides. And it's just, the young people are thinking that's an out. Well, I can't go to my principal. They're not going to do anything. You know, my parents are limited on what they can do. I guess it's up to me. And the pressure is too much. I don't want to be here no more. That's why, you know, they're going to take it into their hands, because if we can't solve it, who can solve it? It's just that simple. That's how young people look at things. If what I'm going through cannot be solved by my parents or by the officials, that's police, school people, you know, leadership, then who do I go to? Now, for the people who do know, you know, I'm telling you right now, I've been there close to suicide. I think I was 19 when I just got kicked out of school. And I was seriously thinking about committing suicide. And I probably talked about this on the show before. And let me tell you, that's when Jesus showed up. I didn't need no one to tell me, he showed up. I said, man, if you don't do something right now, I'm out. And when I tell you God showed up, he showed up. Really, he's the only one that in my life I can say during the period when I was a young person made the most dramatic changes in me and made me feel safe, even in environments where I was not safe. You hear what I'm saying? In environments where I knew I wasn't safe, he made me feel safe. Because at the end of the day, I kind of was like, no matter what happens to me, I know where I'm going. Do I want to go? Do I want to leave this planet? No. But if by some chance something happens to me, I know where I'm going. For some reason, that made me feel safe. But at the end of the day, I just lived life to the fullest, and whatever was going to happen was going to happen, and I was often in situations going through childhood, junior high, high school, as a young adult, where safety was an issue, especially living in California. My brother got jumped and almost died. Oh my goodness, I can't count how many times I'm almost been shot at or just in the wrong place at wrong time. Like, man, there's so many ways to get caught up in California. It's ridiculous. But I thank God, that he covered and protect me. And young people, if any young people are hearing this, I want you to know that through it all, that our Lord and Savior really and truly covers and protects you in situations where you think things can feel impossible, where you don't know what to do or where to turn. He is the safe space. Where even in situations where you don't feel safe, you can find comfort. A sadness and a deep depression where you've lost friends and family and you've just don't know where to turn. He's the person you turn to. I guarantee you, he will restore you and fill you. And for people that are not believers, hey, you got to find something that restores you, that makes you feel safe. Because I don't want to come across like I'm trying to convert you to anything. But what I want you to know is in every religion, there's a place of safety. Let alone if you're Buddhist, Muslim, Christian, Jew, or even if you're an atheist, that safe place can be your inner strength. There's a safe place for everyone. I'm just saying that the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, the Trinity, is my safe space. And if you want to get to know him a little better, holla at your boy. Send me an email. I will definitely, hit you back. Drop me a phone number, man. We can have a conversation, So I just want everybody to slow down and let's start thinking about what's important in our country when it comes to our young people and put them as a priority. They got to be a priority. We're teaching them bad stuff right now. When our kids don't want to be here, you have no excitement about the future, that's our fault. We're not giving them nothing to be excited about. Unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. The rate of suicide, it's unbelievable how it's getting out of control. It's been out of control. It's just ridiculous. Survivor's remorse, oh my, it's just, these kids are walking around with this pain and suffering. We're going to do something. We got to do something. But it's your boy Arquise, man. We're going to take a little break. Hey, I do want to debut a new single from your boy. Actually, if you don't know, I go by Black Eskimo on the Beat for my secular music now. I've separated that from the Chryside stuff and Arquise stuff. There's not going to be no more Arquise albums. It's either the Chryside stuff or the secular stuff. But yeah, I want to play a new song for you, man. It's dope. It's not mastered or anything yet, but I do want to play it for you. And I hope you like it. And it's going to be released next month. So sit back and take a listen. It's your boy Arquise. This is Black Eskimo on the Beat. Check it out.
I'm still trying to understand. How do you love somebody who can't or won't love you back? Yeah. Where did it go wrong? Maybe from the start. Where did it go wrong? Because I gave you my heart. Maybe I didn't want blind, so I pushed all my fears away, hoping you would stay. Yeah, maybe I'm a rebound, and I know how this must sound, and I knew that it was wrong. I should've took the loss and kept moving on. Oh, now that I'm better off alone. Now you're not here. I don't have to live in fear. Things you might say, love it, running away. You are gone. So long, so long, so long, so long. Maybe it's my fault for moving way too fast. I should know better now. The fast never lasts. I should've took my time to get to know you better. Now everything is falling apart, and where's the pieces of my heart? Now that you're gone, I'm better off alone. Now that you're not here, I don't have to live in fear of things you might say, you running away. Now that you are gone, so long, so long, so long.
Yeah. How many games did you play? Every day leading me astray, saying everything that I wanted to hear. And even when I heard it never sound real clear. Yeah, what are you saying? What are you trying to do? What are you taking me through? Why you wanna lie? Why you wanna scheme and plot? Why you wanna act like I thought? I guess you thought you could do me any kind of way, and I would still stay. Nah, that's my fault. I let you in, even though you're not a friend. So you pretend that everything you feel is real, but it's not. That's my fault, cause I wanted you. Yo, that's my fault, cause I wanted you, yeah.
I'm better off. You're not here. I don't have things you might say. Running away. You are gone. So long, so long, so long, so long, so long. You are gone. So long, so long, so long. Now that you are gone. So long, so long, so long. Now that you are gone. Now that you are gone. So long, so long, so long.
Yep. It's your boy, yeah. That's how I roll, Black Eskimo on the beat. You better recognize, yo. I know we're coming from a much more serious situation to, transitioning into more current events. But yeah, that's one of my new songs, man. My style is changing up. I am singing in a register I normally don't. I normally don't sing in my low register, never. Somebody heard me singing in a low register, and voila, now I have a song that is about to drop in about a month, and it's going to be the bomb. I'm completely rebranding everything that I do, and also there's some legal stuff going on. I have some stuff going on with the TV network and some other songs, so I need to separate my entity so that it doesn't get caught up in stuff that's going on with TV and some other legality. Not bad stuff, but just rights. Who has rights to what? So I am also a little bit under the weather. So one of the current events I want to talk about is this Deer Park plant fire. If you guys have not seen this ridiculousness, wow. So this office is probably right down the street from Deer Park, Texas, which is where the plant fire was here in Houston, Texas. And when I tell you for days, the darkest smoke bloom was over the city. It was so thick, you would have thought like a volcano or some natural disaster would have happened. But no, it was a chemical plant. They had a couple of these big containers on fire, right? You know, and trying to tell us that, oh, the air quality is okay and everything is fine. And then, so, you know, for a couple of days I was here in my office, not tripping. And then sure enough, I started feeling a certain type of way. You know, first of all, what I would describe it as something like, how do I say it? It's not like you're swallowing something, but there's this coating, like a coating that gets over in your throat a little bit. Like you're getting a sore throat, but not a sore throat, but you're like you swallowed something and you're like trying to get it out. Kind of like that. Then it's just inhaling these toxins and them trying to play you and say, you know, air quality is, there's no issue, blah, blah. And then what happened? Shelter in place. They wanted everybody in Deer Park to shelter in place because of benzene. Like, are you serious? They've been poisoning us for a couple of days and they're going to top it off with shelter in place. Do you understand how bad something has to be for you to have to shelter in place? Like that's serious business. I mean, really, I just want everybody to understand, like, that's how bad it was. So here in Houston, you know, we are really, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how that company survives a lawsuit that involves the entire city of Deer Park and surrounding area. I just don't know. You know, am I highly concerned? Absolutely. That was some of the most toxic stuff. They were trying to say it wasn't, but then after the fact, you know, when we started realizing what was getting released into the air, we're like, get out of here. Stop trying to tell us that the air quality was great. We're not stupid. No one's going to get on there on national TV and go, yeah, you know, hey, we're poisoning you. And, you know, you're going to probably get cancer and a couple other things and you're going to birth defects, but it'll be okay. No one's ever going to do that. They're going to always go to the far left. Everything's fine. You know what I mean? So that is definitely a hot topic in the news. So anybody that hears this that's in the Deer Park area, any of my family or friends, definitely get checked out. And you need to get checked out probably every 2 to 3 months just to make sure everything is good. You don't want nothing magically popping up, okay? Also in the news, we got Trump. The reporters came out and basically there is no definitive result on collusion, which I told everybody there wasn't gonna be. No, look, you wasted that was a waste. Everything I said was gonna happen happened. That there was gonna be no definitive anything. He was gonna basically do a report and most of it's gonna be like seems like. That's a seems like report. Could be report. Can't get it indicted, acquitted, or anything. Nothing can happen to you with seems like or could be. Okay, this is America. Sorry for all you people that was waiting for that report to say that he colluded. You should have listened to me. I told you. And I'm not a Trump fan by no way, shape, or form. But I'm just a very realistic person when it comes to expectations. Okay, this is the same guy that got hired as president. So what in the universe did you ever expect him to, that whole thing to come out? Trust me, if they had someone on Trump, it wouldn't have took 2 years to pull out. Now, who I am shocked, skated and didn't get in trouble, hopefully it will happen, is Kushner, his son-in-law. This dude definitely needs to be under some charges. He has done some really shady stuff, and we're going to see what happens down the road. If nothing happens within a year with Kushner, he's going to skate too. Everybody else who I said was going to get in trouble did get in trouble. So I said Trump's not going to get in trouble. He's going to basically skate that. And of course, you know, they're really pushing to overturn Obamacare completely and fully. I mean, they're going in right now, you know. They're going in right now. You got that going on. The whole Yale USC scandal is ridiculous. If you have not taken time to go read any news articles on that between the parents and all the coaches and people that are involved in this huge scam. My niece went to USC You know, she had to work her butt off to get into that school. But trust and believe, man, a lot of people, they said he worked with over 800 people, only 35 getting charged. Really? Really? I want to know who the 800 is. You know, I want to see who he worked with and how those people don't get in trouble. What's the statute of limitation on all that? You see what I'm saying? It's just, if you're going to do it right. How you going to just hem up 35 people out of 800? That don't make any sense. It just makes no sense. Unbelievable. Let's see, current events. You know, I can't really say that there is, you know, the stuff we're focusing on right now is really not important stuff. Not really. Not like, okay, yeah, they did some shady stuff with the whole admission stuff. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's great. Yeah. Jussie Smollett got acquitted. You know, he got off. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, how does that affect your life? Just because Jussie Smollett got off from hate crime stuff? That doesn't affect your life in any way, shape, or form. You know, a lot of these things don't affect you. Now, what may affect you, them getting rid of Obamacare, that might affect you. Trust and believe in some way, shape, or form. If they try to completely kill Obamacare, that will have major repercussions. Major repercussions. So we got to keep our eyes on that. That's definitely one thing that I think we need to be on point with. You know, pay attention to the things that directly affect you. Anything with taxes, anything with healthcare, anything that affects your bottom line, you need to know what's going on. You need to know what's going on. They're talking about also getting rid of more of these regulations. And our atmosphere is going to be so toxic. It's going to be interesting to see where we're at in 10 to 15 years. I just don't understand. Like, it's not rocket science. Natural disasters are happening on an epidemic level, fires, floods. I'm like, what else has to happen? The whole United States has to almost be destroyed before somebody goes, hey, you know what? Maybe we need to look at this air stuff, this global warming thing, because this seems unnatural. Does that have to happen before anybody does anything? Because it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. You have some of these massive diseases making comebacks. Ebola's making a pushback. The measles is making a comeback. Like, there's all this stuff going on. It's just it's unbelievable. You know, we need to pay attention to the things that affect us day to day. Don't get caught up in all of this. Just turn away from the stuff that don't affect you day to day. You know what I'm saying? Read things, because see, what they do is they try to fill your plate up with so much stuff, like a buffet, that you don't know what to choose. But what you should be choosing and the things you don't choose, you want the dessert. Nah, you need to eat the meat, the vegetables. You need the stuff that's going to actually help you out. But you can only do that by just really focusing on certain things. So we need to be more in tune with our media, multimedia, across the board, from social media, and see what they're doing. Make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is helping us to connect each other, not pimping us for profit. We need to watch our news stations and stay away from the left and the right news stations, and try to find a station that's right in the middle, that's just reporting the news. Because that's all. I don't want your opinion. Just report the news. And somebody's probably saying, well, we don't want your opinion either. Well, if you're listening, then you do want my opinion. And it's not really my opinion. What I really try to do is give you food for thought. I try to stay in the middle as much as I can. Some stuff, a little hard for me, but some stuff is not. Some stuff is pretty easy. I did have this dream. I got to share with you guys real quick. So I had this dream. This is crazy, that these aliens came. I'm so diverting from what I was talking about, but I want to share with you. Came down and landed in the United States, and they were looking for. They wanted to stay. Right? They had lost their planet, and there's been movies kind of like this, but this had a spin on it. They wanted to stay, and wanted to talk to the people in charge. So the people in charge, of course, our government shows up and tries to communicate with them that they're the people in charge. Somehow they work it out in this dream I had. But the aliens tell them, oh, you're not the ones in charge. You're not the ones we're looking to talk to. This is not your land. Because what ends up happening is that aliens end up talking to all the natives on the planet and completely ignoring any major powers and asking them permission to come and live in various nations, right? My dream was bananas crazy. It didn't go well for big government. Let me just say that, because of course, what they gave the natives in my dream, the natives end up coming out on top of that clearly and end up really profiting in a major way, getting a lot of their land back, because the land that they wanted was really the more hostile parts of each country, places that we don't like living, and getting back the major parts, being back in charge. And then of course, everybody got kicked out of, everybody who wasn't supposed to be there got kicked out. It was the craziest, longest dream. I woke up one time, went back to sleep, and picked up right where I left off. It was hysterical. I just shared with you, it was a crazy dream. Oh man. So also with that, we're gonna be trying to get you talking about dreams and media and all that stuff. One of the things we're also gonna be trying to do is also getting more music. You know, the first year we really played a lot of the music that's in the catalog for the Yahweh International New Foundation Productions compilation they have out, and which is still important to be pushing, especially right about now. So a lot of the songs that you hear on here are either from Christ Side, Arkeys, Ace Dog, Mo, Safe Savage. You'll hear a couple from artists that have songs here in the studio. But showcasing artists is another thing that we're going to be doing definitely this year. You know, just people who just need a voice to put out good music and focus on making changes. So speaking of good music, let me go ahead and play some good music. It's your boy Arkeys. Let me drop something real quick.
This for the front line, slain for the just. It's time. Satan should've never tried to take me out. Now it's on. Warfare at the highest level. Come on. Don't underestimate the blood-bought representer. No surrender. Baptized to live with the life of one sinner. Warfare. Devil know I can't be stopped. Cock back, then I bust on my spiritual block. Destiny. Devil keep testing me. I strike back with the force so relentlessly. Merciless in the third degree. Immortality faced the Nazarene that was hung for me. Give you a war that you won't believe. Angelic battalion sent forth, making demons flee. No opposition when I roll through. Holy tongues recite the game lock. It's the chosen few. Cross-bearer so sick with this. Evangelist, they vindicate as I flip the script. Wage war in the heavenlies. Representative of the Christ homeboy till I D.I.E. We bust back in this warfare. Breaking them off, letting them know Christ running this here. Been in their cuts now for too many years, so duck down, Satan. I'm the one that you fear. We bust back in this warfare. Breaking them off, letting them know Christ running this here. Been in their cuts now for too many years, so duck down, Satan. I'm the one that you fear.
I'll be the star, double R, got a game spit ya. Cock back, holy straps in this split ya. Draw a line in the dirt, play it, choose your side. Live eternal with your out with Jesus so you can die. We wrestle, not against flesh or blood. This battle is spiritual, so I gotta hit them up. I used to have a lost soul, but now my spirit flows to shine like the streets of gold. Like bombs with blood.
Don't you know that tricks is made for kids? Cocoa for pumping puffs, just to catch a sled. From the grace of God, I ain't no going back.
Now Satan, you a liar, and now I'm gonna take it back. Taking it back to the Father, back to the King. Your reign is now over, I heard the fat lady sing. It's a Christ-sized soldier thing, we can't stop. You better take cover, cause we're letting the bombs
We bust back in this warfare. Breaking them off, letting them know Christ running this here. Been in their cuts now for too many years, so duck down, Satan. I'm the one that you fear. We bust back in this warfare. Breaking them off, letting them know Christ running this here. Been in their cuts now for too many years, so duck down, Satan. I'm the one that you fear. Boy, you done flipped your wig, trying to wrestle with this here. Shed tears, my dog's locked down for years. Disappeared, hollow points that I can't forget. Delegated the ace to rest. Transcribed, etched in stone. Everything that you took from me, 100-fold. Tattooed, the R.I.P. runs deep, not the misery. Reflects the lyrical tracks that bring heat. split the circumcision, revoke the image, fed up with the religion. Picture me rolling on the block, serving up the yacht. It's the real rock, shaking them haters who wanna mock and knock. Taking over all you got, duck down when them soldiers pop. Though 1,000 drop, never cease or retreat the flock. Ace dog and you face me not. We bust back in this warfare, breaking them off, letting them know Christ running this here. Been in their cuts now for too many years, so duck down, Satan. I'm the one that you fear. What? We bust back in this warfare, breaking them off, letting them know Christ running this here. Been in their cuts now for too many years, so duck down, Satan. I'm the one that you fear.
I'm the one that you fear. Dug down, Satan. See, that's what I'm talking about right there, man. See, that's that soldier mindset. Yeah. Ace Dog. What? That's your boy Ace Dog right there, man. Warfare, man. That's basically what I'm saying, man. Like, yo, he need to be fearing us, not us fearing him. When he sees us making changes to do better and be better, he gets nervous. Like, he thinks that, like, we just are passive right now. He don't see that soldier spirit in us, so he do what he do. But if you start making changes, you start representing, you start standing up, you stop being a civilian, man. Be a soldier about these kids. Be a soldier about the things that you put in your spirit. Look, you can't let everything into your eyes and your ears and your mouth. You can't. We feed a lot of different ways. It ain't just food. Spiritual food comes through the eyes, through the ears. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be very careful of what you put in yourself, what you let your spirit have access to, because the devil's not playing. He out here making moves. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to play another song, man, and we're gonna get out of here. But let's play another track right here, and we might come back. But if not, it's your boy Arquise. Y'all we're Internationals in the building, man. We love y'all. Peace and grace.
From death to life, darkness to light. For the life I once chose has now left me torn apart. So now, I give to you.
Introduction to this testimony written in blood. Scriptures tell of one love, of the sins from the heavens above. I palm on sands through the journey chosen, frozen like statues soon to fall. Break them off from the erosion, time to separate the wheat from the chaff. Have cherish your last laugh. You ain't see nothing till you witness in my God's wrath. Christ I brought a full lot of the fake stops here. I shed real tears, suffered the meal years. Hooked on this thing like a freight train with 14 wheels. Spinning on steel, I'm as real as your last meal. Demons they frown when I laying it down, and I spitting this gospel like a rebel through your town, and I bucking them down with them 66 books. Step to Christ's side, you bound to get took. Yapping off when principalities be challenging me, and it don't matter if you disagree. I'm rotten, it's the Father in me, not you on that.
Now it's on.
Yeah, powered by Christ. We in this. From generation to generation, y'all know what's up. Straight from the gut, blood bought.
Now it's on.
Soldier boys, stay down.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's your boy Arquise. Yo, I want to thank Yahweh International New Foundation Productions, man. Got that Ace Dog in there. I don't know if I've ever played that one before, man. I was digging in the archives and I was like, hey, what's this doing in here? Warfare, man. It's a great song, man. Straight up. Just like, yo, we got to be soldiers about it when it comes to living on this planet. We just got to be less gullible, less like patsies, less passive, and more serious about the things that are important. Godly principles, stop embracing demonic principles, stop letting social media tell us what to do, how to do it, when to do it. We gotta let these people know that our data, our information is not for pimping, and stop getting us out there and selling our information. Like, it's just a big money grab, and I've had enough, and I know you've had enough. So we just got to start standing up and doing what we need to do to make sure that we are united in our goals, united in healing our nation, united in everything that we do. Look, we ain't got to all agree. We can agree to disagree, vote, and then it is what it is. But getting rid of all the hate and the demonic principles in our country is a must. If not, we'll end up like every other great nation, because there's been a lot of them that came and gone. It's your boy Arquise, man. I really appreciate you guys, man. And we're going to go ahead and sign off, and looking forward to talking to you guys next time and bringing some more food for thought. Peace and grace.